A season finale is the final episode of a season of a television program. This is often the final episode to be produced for a few months or longer, and, as such, will try to attract viewers to continue watching when the series begins again. A season finale may contain a cliffhanger ending to be resolved in the next season. Alternatively, a season finale could bring open-ended storylines to a close, going out on a high, and similarly maintaining interest in the series' eventual return. In the 2000s, the terms mid-season finale, fall finale, and winter finale began being used by some cable and broadcast networks in the United States, to denote a series whose current season has been split into two halves in order to make room for a mid-season replacement series. Generally, when this occurs, your next first-run episode of the current season picks up a few months after the previous first-run episode aired. The winter finale definition is usually used to demarcate the hiatus of regular programming during the December Christmas and holiday season. Notable examples: 1980, every season of Dallas finished with a cliffhanger ending, but most famously is the Who Shot JR storyline, when an attempt on J.R. Ewing's life takes place in the season 3 finale A House Divided. 1983 1989, Blackadder The Black Seal, Chains, Duel and Duality, Goodbye. Blackadder took a liberty that many series would be unable to take, by killing off the major characters. This reinforces the idea that the four series stand alone from each other, and the series' general black humor. 1990, Star Trek, The Next Generation in the Season 3 finale, The Best of Both Worlds, the Borg attack several Federation colonies and when the Enterprise finally catches up with them, they kidnap Captain Picard. The Enterprise's normal weapons have very little effect on the Borg ship, so the crew devises a way to channel a massive amount of energy into the main deflector dish, turning it into a massive weapon. An Enterprise away team boards the Borg ship to try and rescue Picard, but discover that he has been assimilated. He is now Locutus of Borg. The episode ends with Locutus informing the Enterprise that they will be assimilated as well. Riker's only response is Mr. Worf, fire. This episode is widely regarded by fans to be the best episodes of the entire Star Trek franchise. This was also one of the first cliffhangers outside of a soap opera. 1995, The Simpsons parodied the Who Shot JR episode with Who Shot Mr. Burns. The Season 6 finale. The episode launched an official contest on the Internet to determine who shot Mr. Burns. It is the only two-part episode in series' 25-year history. 1998, Friends in the Season 4 finale, the one with Ross's wedding. Ross and several main characters travel to London for his wedding to Emily Waltham. Rachel unexpectedly arrives, intending to tell Ross she loves him and possibly stop the wedding, but she decides against this at the last minute and the ceremony goes ahead as planned. However, during the vows Ross says Rachel's name instead of Emily's, and the episode ends with the registrar asking whether he should continue the ceremony. A 1999 Season 5's finale, the one in Vegas, ends with another cliffhanger, this time involving Ross and Rachel marrying drunkenly in Las Vegas, leading to their divorce in the following season. 2000, Frasier in the Season 7 finale, Something Borrowed, Someone Blue. The major plotline involving Niles' secret love for Daphne ended, as Daphne seemingly rejects Niles on the night before her wedding, but then joins him in the final scene and asks him to take her away with him, and they leave as her wedding to Donnie is supposed to be beginning. 2000, The Sopranos the Season 2 finale, Funhouse, largely concerns a series of fever dreams experienced by protagonist Tony Soprano, brought on by food poisoning. The episode became iconic for its dream sequence in which Tony encounters a fish that speaks with the voice of Big Pussy Bonpensiero and confesses to turning informant, arousing Tony's suspicions in real life and culminating in the murder of Big Pussy. The Sopranos would become infamous for its abrupt killing of regular characters, as well as its often surreal and bizarre dream sequences and metaphysical elements. 2003, Farscape the Season 4 finale, Bad Timing, ends on a cliffhanger where it appears John Crichton and Aaron's son had been killed. The Sci-Fi Channel had announced the series' cancellation several months earlier, And despite intense fan pressure on a network, negotiations between Sci-Fi and the Jim Henson Company failed to renew the series. In protest to the cancellation, the Henson Company retained the cliffhanger and the to-be-continued titles at the end of the episode. The cliffhanger was eventually resolved in the Peacekeeper Wars two-part miniseries. 2004, 2006, Green Wing the Series 1 finale and Series 2 finale. In an ironic parody of certain season finales, both series of the British hospital sitcom Green Wing conclude with literal cliffhangers. In Series 1, Guy discovers that Joanna is his biological mother, directly after sleeping with her. In a confused rage, he steals an ambulance, and drives it to the edge of a cliff. In Series 2, Dr. Stotham, having accidentally killed a dwarf, worries that the police are about to find and arrest him and Joanna, so hijacks a couple's camper van, but Dr. Stotham takes them to the edge of the same cliff. Their survival is not explained in the following Green Wing special, and this plot device could be a criticism of the cliffhanger method of generating tension and ratings. 2013, Doctor Who the Season 33 finale, The Name of the Doctor. The Doctor and his companion, Clara, visit the Doctor's grave on a planet called Trenzalore. This episode takes place shortly before the events in the 50th anniversary special, as the last scene of the episode shown as a shot of an unknown incarnation of the Doctor, saying to his right, introducing John Hurt as the Doctor. Series finale. The final episode of a television series often concludes the entire premise of the show. There have been episodes, ostensibly having been the season finale, unexpectedly becoming the de facto series finale because of the cancellation of the series. Notable examples of this include Everybody Hates Chris, Futurama, Hellcats, Heroes, Instant Star, Invasion, John Doe, King of the Hill, Las Vegas, Malcolm in the Middle, Muesha, My Name is Earl, Scrubs, The New Adventures of Old Christine, Till Death, Two Guys and a Girl, and Veronica Mars. In sports, in American English, the term has developed to describe the final event of a sporting season, for example in soccer or motocross, perhaps partly because of the popularity of these with television viewers. References